Today, we will talk about the Katie Couric Clause. The Katie Couric Clause was a proposed regulation by the Securities and Exchange Commission that sought to expand on existing executive compensation rules. The rule required public companies to disclose the pay of up to 3 of the highest paid non-executive employees at a company. Existing laws already mandate firms to report the salaries of CEOs, CFOs, and other high-ranking executive officers of public companies. The clause was named after Katie Couric, the highest-paid newscaster at CBS in 2006, with a reported salary of $15 million over 5 years. Major media companies like CBS and NBC, and large Wall Street firms, opposed the SEC's proposal. These firms were thought to be most affected by the proposal as they frequently pay high salaries to non-C-suite executives. The proposal faced resistance because firms were reluctant to disclose detailed executive compensation information due to privacy concerns for their employees and the fear of exposing proprietary information. Additionally, there was opposition to what was perceived as a potential invasion of employees' privacy. If adopted, companies would have had to disclose the total compensation of up to 3 non-executive employees whose pay exceeds that of any of its top 5 managers. Although the SEC did not adopt the Katie Couric Clause in 2006, new regulations concerning the disclosure of information about executive compensation were mandated by the 2010 Dodd-Frank financial reform legislation. This legislation addressed executive compensation-related provisions. Some key regulations that have been put in place include the requirement for companies to disclose the pay ratio between its CEO and its median employee and the disclosure of the amounts and types of compensation paid to the top 5 executives. Furthermore, there is now a mandate for companies to include an executive compensation discussion and analysis section along with pay documentation in all SEC forms. Supporters of executive compensation rules claim that they are essential for corporate transparency and provide investors with vital information. For example, the pay ratio rule is seen as a measure to determine whether a board is overpaying its executives. However, many large corporations oppose these provisions, asserting that they will hinder their hiring practices and encourage firms to outsource low-paying labor to service companies. Following the passage of Dodd-Frank in 2010, the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association voiced opposition to proposed bank executive compensation rules, arguing it would limit their members' ability to attract and hire necessary talent. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. The Katie Couric Clause was a proposed regulation by the SEC that suggested the disclosure of executive compensation and the compensation of other select employees. 2. The rule faced opposition from major media companies and Wall Street firms, and ultimately, it was not adopted. 3. The 2010 Dodd-Frank legislation led to new regulations regarding executive compensation, requiring greater transparency in corporate spending. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.